I heard like the views was crazy, the water was super blue, but I'm excited, man. But I'm not excited about the fact that it's not gonna be like any AC or anything like that. Like that kind of sucks. But at the same time, you know, it's a venture, right?
Just took a trip, just got tripping. Yeah, I be tripping. Yeah, I be tripping. Just made a grip, just made a grip. Yeah, I be tripping. Yeah, I be tripping. Just took a trip, just took a trip. Just made a grip, just made a grip. My dog got a stick, my dog got a block. I swear he a trip. Yeah, he a trip. Just took a trip, just got tripping. Yeah, I be tripping. Yeah, I be tripping. Just made a grip, just made a grip. Yeah, I be tripping. Yeah, I be tripping. Just took a trip.
Let's talk about Panama. And I'm not talking about the place in Florida where kids go to party on spring break. I'm talking about the country. So we landed, we got our stamp, and it was time to explore the country. On this trip with me, it was Bobby, D, and my homie Mario, who was a big help because he's from Mexican descent and he speaks fluent Spanish. We really didn't have a plan. It was like, hey guys, I haven't seen you in a while. Panama was a cheap flight. Let's meet up and we'll figure it out when we get there. That's probably why we got in the situation we got into. We weren't prepared, we didn't have a plan, and we were winging it. But we'll get to that in a minute. We stayed at this hostel right here, which was a really cool hostel. It was lit, man. It was a lot of people. It was popping. It was people from Germany, Austria, Sweden. I mean, we met people from like literally all over the world at this one hostel. So it was pretty cool. Next day, we woke up, toured the city, did the whole tourist thing, got some souvenirs, got some pictures for the gram, food, drank some Panamanian beer. You know, like I always say, soak in the sights. Feel the vibe of the culture. Feel the vibe of the country you're in. So I realized very quickly that, hey, we are going to need to plan the rest of this trip out because we're going to get bored. The night before was a crazy night. We partied all night and we were kind of like hungover and kind of over that. So we didn't want to party. We wanted some adventure. We wanted to do something different. So we went to the hostel, went to the front desk and was like, hey man, what do you suggest we do? And he was like, you should go to the San Blas Islands. We were like, where's that? What is that? Tell us everything. And he was like, they're these cool islands, man. Blue water. It's amazing. You're going to be hanging out with the Kuna people. You'll love it. Okay, how much is it? It's $130 a person. And here's where the real adventure began. We needed to get from here in Panama City to here by the coast and then hop on a boat and get to here, our destination, the San Blas Islands. So that sounded simple enough. Our tour guide, he made some stops, we got some groceries, and we were on our way.
It was like $130 for each of us to get on this tour. So it was a lot, but hopefully it's gonna be worth it. Yeah, and like, stay tuned, it's gonna be lit. I heard like the views was crazy, the water was super blue, but I'm excited, man. But I'm not excited about the fact that it's not gonna be like any AC or anything like that. Like that kind of sucks. But at the same time, you know, it's a venture, right? But say what's up to the crew. I got my boy Deutschland right here.
Yeah, we're prepared.
We're very prepared.
Yeah.
I got our driver. Say what's up, bro.
Hola.
Bug spray. We need bug spray. Very important.
Sí, muy importante.
Muy important. He said it's muy importante. You had a good night, Bobby?
The drive from Panama City to the coast was super rough. There were a lot of bumps. We were off-road the whole time, damn near. We had to drive through a jungle. The roads weren't paved. Very sharp turns. There were steep climbs, and then you would just drop with the car. It was scary, man, and I ended up getting motion sickness and throwing up. So after that crazy journey, we got to this town, and we were gonna get on a boat from this town to the actual island. From there, it was a 30-minute boat ride to the San Blas Islands. It was an interesting coast because you would think the coast more so like your typical beach, but it was more like the Amazon rainforest. It felt like we were going through like the Amazon jungle or something like that. The boat ride was pretty cool. There was a guy in front, and, he was leaning back with a rope, kind of navigating. It was a little rough, but it wasn't so bad. I didn't throw up on this one. We finally got to like the main island, and it was pretty surreal because you had these kids. They were like running around naked, and it seemed like you went in a time machine or something. It was like a whole nother world.
Crazy.
Completely crazy. And exotic.
How much for this?
Do you know for me?
It's a part of the anteater family.
This is a pivotal part in the story because we thought we were going to go to our rooms, get dressed, get some rest, get some food, then start the tour. So we were in our rooms for about 20 minutes. And somebody came to the door and it was like, hey, we want to show you around the island. So we're thinking they're going to show us around the island that we were currently on. So I grabbed my cell. We left Bobby sleeping. Hey, go ahead, get some rest, man. We'll be right back. So we were walking and we're getting closer and closer to the dock that we just came from. Not thinking anything of it. Got in the boat and we start driving away, drifting away. And I'm like, hold up. Are we coming back? So come to find out, this was the tour that we were currently on. We left a cooler full of water, full of food. I left my GoPro. I left my main camera. I left my swim trunks. We left Bobby sleeping in the hut. It was just a major communication failure, and it was mostly on our part. We had Mario there. He spoke Spanish. We should have confirmed, like, hey, is this the tour? Then we would have ran back, grabbed our stuff, and we would have been fine. So here we are, starving on this boat on the way to this remote island with no equipment and no idea what the heck we're doing. So we got to the island and it was absolutely beautiful. It was a small private island. If you know the show Money Heist, the scene with Tokyo and Rio was shot on this particular island, this exact island. So we're kind of forgetting about the hunger. We're trying to have a good time. Maybe this will be quick. We'll get back on the boat, go back to the main island and get something to eat. That did not happen. What happened was he took about 3 or 4 people back on the boat. So the guide ended up explaining to us that the people he's taking paid for a special tour. I'm like, hey, how do we go on this tour? We didn't know about this. They didn't tell us about a special part of the tour that we could pay for. How much is it? And he said $30. It was $30 more than what you paid. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I have my wallet back at the island. Can I just give you the money when we get back? He said, no, don't worry. Stay here. We'll be right back. So we ended up being on this island for 3 freaking hours. No food, no water, no supplies. So I'm like, hey, let's just try to make the best out of it. Let's go get some content. Let's go swimming, which I had to do in my underwear. Let's try to find some food. As you see in this video, I'm trying to hit coconuts out of a tree with a rock. It was very unsuccessful. We saw a canoe there and we were like, hey, what the hell? It was probably a sacred canoe or something, but we didn't care. We were pissed off. Just getting that canoe in the water, it was super heavy and just bonding with the guys at that moment. It gets to the point where you're so hungry that you just laugh about it. And we got it in the water. We had a whole photo shoot. We were trying to stand up, balance ourselves. So we had a lot of fun with that canoe. I took 3 naps. Floated in the ocean, just soaked in the scenery. So it was really bad for the first hour or so. But honestly, after a while, it became very relaxing, just being damn, we do take a lot of things for granted on our day to day. It's almost like when we became at peace with the situation, bam, the tour guide came. And we weren't even mad at this point. We were just happy to be back home. We got some food finally. Got some water, got hydrated, took a long nap, woke up, bonfire. Bobby was sleeping the whole time during this whole experience. So it was just fun catching him up on what had happened. It ended up being pretty good at the end. It's easy to look back on trips and go, oh, that was a bad experience. But to me, even the bad experiences or the uncomfortable ones, they're learning experiences. I wouldn't be the traveler I am today without moments like this. I would give this country a 5 out of 10. And again, this is my personal experience. When it came down to the cost of things, I think Panama was a little bit too expensive for me. The nightlife was definitely popping. It's a great hub to meet people from around the world. The Panamanian people in general are super nice. They're kind. The Kuna people, we really appreciate you guys for like letting us stay on your island, showing us your culture. Like I said, all in all, man, it's a cool place to go, man. It's a cool place to go. I would go back with like a local though next time. So if you're from Panama, let me know what's up. I'll come back, make a part 2. Let's get it. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and also hit that notification button for more content like this coming soon.